Hi everyone. So I've been using this Fold 7 for almost 2 weeks now, and I think this is the first foldable that I will actually like to recommend you guys. But the thing is, this is not perfect and it was never going to be. But there are a lot to like about this phone, and there are some things that I do not like. So let's talk about it. I'll start with the build and design, and as you know, this has gotten pretty thin and it does feel like a normal phone. So I've been using this phone as my primary phone and I'm actually really enjoying it. I like the new aspect ratio, it's 21:9, and it is much easier to use with one hand. I know it's taller, but you can still use it with one hand even though it's a 6.5-inch phone. So sometimes the taller aspect ratio actually really works. Apart from that, it is much easier to type with one hand. So I really like that about this phone, because a lot of the time I just choose the smaller phone because I want to use it with one hand. So this gives me that. And when you open this phone, you get this 8-inch screen, which I think is a really good screen because it gets pretty bright outdoors. And if you can see the screen, you will see it in this reflection. But when you use it from the front, you won't be able to see it and you will forget it right away. Also, it is not as shallow as the Fold 6 or the previous version were used to be. And I know they have removed the S Pen functionality, which a lot of people use, but I actually did not like using it on the previous phones because the crease was so shallow that I felt like there is always a disconnect in between. So I'm okay that they have removed it and made this phone so thin. But the problem with this thin design is that it is really hard to open this phone. So if your hands are not wet or moisture, I think you'll be able to open it nicely. But apart from that, sometimes like my hands just slip and I'm really scared that I might drop this phone. I've been using this phone without a case because I don't want to put a bulk on it. But yes, that's the problem. Like, you're not able to open this phone very easily. Even right now, it was a bit difficult. But apart from that, the hinge is really good. They have introduced that new titanium hinge, and I am sure you have seen the generic video when it like he basically bends the phone and it won't break. So I think Samsung has done a really good job, not just like making the phone really slim. As you can see, it's just 4.2 slim, and even close, like it's just 8.8 or 8.9. It's not even heavy phone, like it's lighter than S25 Ultra. So I think overall design I really like. The other thing that I don't like about this phone is going to be this fingerprint sensor. It is really thin because of this thin design. So apart from opening this phone, which is hard, sometimes you might not be able to reach to that fingerprint and it won't open right away. Yeah, it is a good fingerprint sensor because it's a physical fingerprint sensor, but yes, sometimes it's not the best out there. I wish there was a in-screen fingerprint sensor, but because the phone is so slim, maybe there was no space to implement it. The only thing that they haven't improved as such is going to be that IP48. This is still IP48. You don't get the proper dust protection. But most of the time, like, it's a pretty close device and there is nothing that you can put inside the device. So I don't have any problem with that. The biggest problem of this design is this camera bump. This is a huge camera bump, as you can see. And if you put it on a table, look how this is going to just work. So you may have to install a screen protector like I'm using right now. This is the anti-reflective from the Samsung itself, and you have to put the phone just facing down, or you may have to use a case. And as I was talking about the aspect ratio, the screen itself is really good. So this is a 120 Hz LTPO panel and it gets really bright. So the outdoor visibility is great in my opinion. It's not the most pixel dense screen, but it is sharp, and even the internal screen. So basically they have more or less the same specification. So in my opinion, this is a really good screen, so you don't have to worry about it. It is a 8-inch screen now, and watching content, sometimes you might feel that the aspect ratio is not great. But honestly, in my opinion, I really like watching the videos like this. You get a whole lot of screen if you compare it with any other phone. Plus you can read comment, and not just that, I mean, if you want to open some another application that is going to be in this taskbar, you can just open it down there, and now you can basically do 90/80. Let me just switch it on the side, which is a really good thing that you can do. So I think the multitasking has been improved as well. Plus, I really like the aspect ratio, so I don't have any problem. So basically, if you want to do a lot of multitasking items, this is a great phone in my opinion. Yes, you will see those black bars when you're watching video, but I think still it's a pretty good device for media consumption. If I talk about the performance, the Snapdragon 8 Elite is actually doing a pretty good job. I did not have any problem with S25, S25 Ultra, the same cases here. But sometimes it does get hot from here when you're using the camera or if you try to play a game. I don't play game on the foldable, but this is a really good device if you actually play games on phone. But I think it lacks that proper vapor chamber cooling, so it might get hot. But one thing that really surprised me is going to be the battery. So I've been using this phone as my primary phone, like I said. I've been getting a really good battery life. So as you can see, my daily usage is not that much because I'm usually working. But when I do, as you can see, this is what I get most of the day. So 73% for 5-hour screen on time. If you can see, for 50% usage, you can get approximately 4-hour screen on time. So I can easily get 6 to 7 hours from this phone, and my usage depends. Like sometimes I'm on Wi-Fi, sometimes I'm on 5G. So if I'm on Wi-Fi for the whole day, I can easily get 8 hours. If I'm on 5G, I can get 5.5 hours to 6 hours. But I was not disappointed with the battery life. I just wish it was a little faster when it comes to the charging. So it does support 25-watt charging, which is not fast in my opinion. So it usually takes over 1 hour to fully charge this phone. What I do usually is just put this phone on charge overnight and I have a full day battery. And for my use case, it usually work over 1 day, but I still put it on charge even if it's like 50 or 40% at the night. So when I was talking about the design, the camera bump, it is actually because they have introduced the new 200 megapixel sensor, which is exactly same as S25 Ultra. And I think there is an improvement. But the thing is, if I'm being honest, I'm not really a fan of Samsung camera system altogether. I think they haven't improved in a really long time. Maybe with S26 series, they might introduce a new sensor. But let's just talk about what we have. So I think in my opinion, it is a decent camera system. I mean, it is like S25 with that extra 200 megapixel sensor. So if you want a better wide angle shot, not ultra wide, just wide angle shot, or want to do 2x, I think it's a decent camera system. It's not great, and for the price is definitely not even value for money in my opinion. But the thing is, it works. So if you want a decent camera system but you still want a foldable, I think you can make do with this phone. But I am personally not a fan of the system, and I actually really like the telephoto system of 5x of S25 Ultra, which is lacking here. And the 3x on this phone, it's just okayish in my opinion, and especially in low light it just gets really worse, but in the daytime you can get away with the zoom shot up to 10x. So I would not recommend this phone for the camera quality itself. It's a decent camera system, but that's it. The front camera system is great, and also the internal camera system has been updated to this punch hole. It was under display camera before, but now this is a proper punch hole. Yes, it reduces the visibility of the whole screen in my opinion, but it is a really wide camera. Let me just open it. So as you can see, it is such a wide camera, which I really like. So sometimes I usually open this phone and just put it like this and like just take video calls in my opinion, and it is such a wide camera in my opinion, which I really like. The speakers are okay on this phone because it's such a thin phone, so they don't have that much bass, but they get really loud and they're clear, so you don't have to worry about it. But if I just talk about the software experience, I think One UI 8 would have been the best software skin on Android in my opinion right now. I never had any issue with this phone. I think there was only one bug that I found with this phone, which I posted on Twitter as well. Apart from that, I did not encounter any bugs on this phone, which is a great deal when it comes to Samsung. Samsung used to be worse when it comes to software experience, and now they have come so far. So it comes with One UI 8 and Android 16 out of the box, and you're going to get 7 years of software updates, so which is really good when it comes to Samsung. I hope this phone is going to last that long. So what is my final opinion about this phone? See, this is a really good foldable. I think this is the first foldable that I would definitely recommend you to try. But would I want you to go out and purchase a $2,000 phone? Probably not. I don't think not everyone needs it. But if you're someone who's really into it and if you have money to spare, I think you should definitely go for this phone. I really like it and I would like to use it as my primary phone for some time. I might be switching to something else, but hopefully we'll come back to this phone. If you have this phone, let me know your experience. My name is Rohit. I'll see you next one. Until then.